for example 5 and example 6, we're going to practice picking out the information from the scenario given, and we're going to identify the number of successes and the variable X and the probability of success, etc. We're going to pick out a bunch of information, and then we're going to calculate the mean and the standard deviation. So in this first one, it says a parcel service has a 91% on-time delivery rate. They make 42 deliveries in one day. This is a binomial experiment. In part A, it says, what is the random variable X in this experiment? In any binomial experiment, X represents the number of successes, but specifically in this case, X can take on the values from 0 to 42. So X can be equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 42, because there are 42 trials. So you could have 0 successes, you could have 1 success, you could have 2 success, all the way up to 42. I can't say in this situation that X could be, say, 50, because it wouldn't make sense that there are 50 successes with a trial size of 42. So you only want to go from 0 up to the number of trials. In this experiment, what constitutes a success? So in this scenario, they're discussing a parcel service that delivers on time. So a success is if the parcel service delivers on time. What is the probability of success? So since it says that the parcel service has a 91% on-time delivery rate, we can say that P, which is the probability of success, is 0.91. Part D, what is the probability of failure? Failure is going to be the complement of success. So if the delivery is on time 91% of the time, then 9% of the time they're not going to make it on time. So the probability of failure, which is Q, that would be 0.09, 9%. P plus Q always has to be equal to 1 since they're complements. All right, part E, calculate the mean of the binomial distribution. Remember, the mean is the number of trials times the probability of success. In this case, the number of trials is 42. So I'm going to take 42 times the probability of success. So 42 times 0.91, that's going to give us 38.22. So that's going to be the mean of this distribution. Part F says calculate the standard deviation of the binomial distribution. The standard deviation is the square root of when you take n times p times q. So we're going to have the square root of 42 times p, which is 0.91, times q, which is 0.09. And when we multiply that out and take the square root, we're going to get approximately 1.86. Let's look at example 6. A water filter system has 97% success rate for removing lead from test samples. It is tested on 30 different water samples. This is a binomial experiment. So in part A, it says, what is the random variable X in this experiment? So since the variable X is the number of possible successes, and because there are 30 trials in this case, because we're doing this 30 different times for different water samples, our X could be 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 30. So these are our possible values for X. In this experiment, what constitutes a success? A success occurs when you successfully remove the lead from the water sample. So when they run this experiment 30 times, each time they're tracking if the lead was removed. If the lead was removed 20 times, then you would have 20 successes and X would be 20. Now let's look at the probability of success that's given to us in the question. P, the probability of success is 97%, but we write it as a decimal as 0.97. What is the probability of failure? The probability of failure is going to be the complement of P, which is 0.97. So Q, which is the probability of failure, is going to be 0.03. That way, P and Q add to 1. For part E, calculate the mean of the binomial distribution. The mean is equal to n times the probability of success, our P. In this case, n is 30. We have 30 trials. And our probability of success is 0.97. So when we multiply that out, we're going to get 29.1. For part F, we need to calculate the standard deviation of the binomial distribution. The standard deviation is the square root of n times P times Q. N is 30. P is 0.97. And then our Q is 0.03. So when we multiply all that together and we take the square root, we're going to get 0.93.